Hey, welcome to Projects in Dad's Garage. We're working on Project Voron Part 2. So, our printing parts never came yesterday. Hopefully they'll be in the mail today. I did, however, get all the screws organized into the drawers and started on the frame. Not going to walk you guys through a step-by-step build on this. Most people probably find that really boring to watch. If we were able to do live streams to YouTube, we might do that. But we can't. So anyway, started on the frame. Working on the hidden joints on the thing right now. Hopefully this video is a little better quality, because I went and looked at some of the video resolution settings in OBS. Hopefully I got them a little better. But if any of you have watched anybody else's videos building these things, they'll all tell you that getting these things square is extremely important. And working in manufacturing and spending quite a bit of time building projects, I can tell you for a fact it's absolutely true for machinery. I mean, it's true when you're building a house, which I did construction for 5 years, so it's even more important when you're working on something that's got to do something very precisely. So, yeah, that's our plan for today. I'll let you guys hang out with me for a minute while I put these last few pieces on the frame, and then I'll bring you back when we're making some progress on something else that's interesting. Probably should check and make sure that the package with all the printed parts are actually coming out. So my mail gets delivered yesterday right before 1 o'clock, but no package. And I can see from the tracking that it arrived at the post office late. Now, I've had packages show up late at the post office and they get sent out by somebody else, but that unfortunately wasn't the case with this. So the information said that they couldn't deliver it due to an animal interference. Yeah. They were able to deliver everything else. There's no animals. I mean, people in my neighborhood have animals, but it's not like fenced in, chain link front yards, and like there's no way for animals to be out there. There's occasionally a squirrel that likes to sit on my front porch and eat nuts that fall from one of the neighbor's trees. Maybe the squirrel interfered. So I debated getting out the torque wrench and setting these all exactly to torque spec. Got torque screwdrivers, but they only go up to like 5 or 6 Newton meters, and the stainless steel M5 screws would need to be torqued at like 7. So I was like, I'm not gonna break out half-inch torque wrench, which I don't even know if it goes down that low. I need to get something in the middle. Quarter and 3/8 torque wrenches would be nice. So, I know a lot of people talk about what surface to build on and recommend using granite, stuff like that. This black surface is actually plastic coated aluminum sheet. So I tried to track down some granite. They wanted, what was it? Well, a 2x2 piece was going to end up costing me $120, so like $30 a square foot or something like that. They wanted for cut off scrap pieces of granite or quartz countertop. I thought that was highway robbery for something that you'll eventually just throw away anyway, but it's okay. Free country. I don't have to fucking pay. I can just not buy your stuff. Another one was going to call me back and never did. And I figured that was a sign that they didn't want to deal with it. Like, I offered to pay when I called. I didn't ask for anything free. But I think that's a bit excessive. I redid the countertops in my previous house, and granted they were like the in-stock laminate countertops, but I'm pretty sure that I paid right about that for 2 counters. Do an entire L-shaped kitchen. Also, in case you can't tell, talking to a camera and people that aren't here is not a thing that comes natural to me. I'm doing my best with it. I was hoping that have some more involvement from the kiddos, but with my son being at his mom's currently, and the older girl doing school most of the time, and she has no interest in building a 3D printer. Now, maybe we do some craft projects and stuff. She'll be out here. She does, however, have interest in making YouTube videos. Very interested in that. Ten-year-old girl stuff. Want to be YouTube famous, I guess. Probably not going to get that way on a channel working on projects with her dad in the garage. So. Well, anyway, that's those pieces installed, I will stop the video here and we will resume when we get to something a little bit more interesting for you folks. All right. So, made a run to the post office and picked up a package. Managed to get there before mail carrier left, and picked up all of our printed parts. Open it up, take a look at it. Hey. Nice. Sent me a little Voron logo sticker. Save these for the kids because they like to pop the little bags. Alright, let's cut the tops off of this so y'all can see better. We got the frame together. Got that all squared. Took a little while to get the rails for the bed measured and set right, but that's only because my calipers are only 6-inch calipers instead of 8-inch calipers, so had to measure from where it stops. Alright. We have... Whoa! Dropping stuff already. It is not easy for me to get up and down. Parts look really nice. So this is printed with Spartan 3D, ABS, Galaxy Black, I believe it is. It's the Sparkle ABS and the fluorescent blue. I have ordered a spool of each. That way if I want to modify, change, add anything in the future, I have filament to match it. Also ordered orange because bag number 1. Okay. Bag number 2. Bag number 3. Skirts. Take a look at bag number 1 first, I guess. Let's go with bag number 1. Actually, I'm gonna message this guy on Discord, let him know that I picked this up. So shout out to the guys on the Voron and Only Benchies Discords. Extremely helpful, if not sometimes sarcastic, but yeah, what can you do? I'm a pretty sarcastic guy myself, so. yeah, so I couldn't go any further with the build until I got all this stuff. Sent me clicky and base probe parts. Gantry accent. Z-belt color covers. Z-motor tension mounts, motor mounts. Gantry X and Y transitioners. Top Z-axis. These I actually need now. There's a lot of parts. Did not realize just how many parts there were. Trying to see if there are the spacers for setting the linear rails. Tools. This looks like it might be. Might be what we're looking for. Yes. Yep. All right. Man, I can't get over how nice this stuff looks. Fantastic job. Alright, so next up on our list is installing the Z-axis linear rails. Let's go over here and take a look. Oh. Manual says it has a picture. It says, "Why is this here? As you likely skipped over the advice to flip through the entire manual, we added graphics like these to assist you with the orientation of the part before you actually put them on the printer." That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, 293 page manual. I'd wager to guess most people don't go all the way through it. $3mm gap to the bottom of the rail. Right, so I need to move some stuff to make room to work on things. So I'm going to go do that, and we'll come back. Alright, so we're back. Cleaning and greasing our Z-axis linear rails. Clean them all first, and then we'll grease them all. Just wiping them down with rubbing alcohol. I don't have one of those fancy needle syringes, so baby syringe. A lot of the guys use Mobile Lux EP2. Which is just Mobile's medium viscosity lithium grease. Too much on that. Smooth out a little bit. Just try to open this hole. Anyway, so this is the shell equivalent. So I stopped at TSC. After I stopped at the post office, they didn't have that. They had this. So this is what we got. I did go with the Shell brand rather than their in-house brand. I'm sure their in-house brand would have been just fine, but rather than trying to save $2. Yeah, stuff not only $4 or $5, $4 or $5. Does make it hilarious when you realize that they sell 10 cc's of it for like, I don't know, anywhere between $6 and $9. And the entire tube of it costs half that. So, while it may seem silly to have an entire tube of grease, so just find the appropriate amount of it. For the project, it is actually more cost effective. And no shipping. I'm sure Rural King would have had the same thing. Heck, probably AutoZone and Advance Auto would have had it too. But alas, Tractor Supply was on my way home from the post office. I didn't feel like driving to the other side of town. Right, so Steph is doing a right good job of making a mess on my work surface though. All right. We'll just put that in there for next time. Put this away. Alright then. Try to put our squares up. Calipers we'll probably still need. Wrenches we'll definitely need. And we need to do every other row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. And we're using 3x8 socket heads and M3 T-nuts. Eight socket heads. M3 T-nuts. Two. 3. 4. 6. So this one is the 350 millimeter version of this. You get a fair amount of flack for getting the 350 version, but my logic is that the chances of me ever being able to do another one of these anytime soon is slim to none. And I got kids and I got friends that do a lot of cosplay stuff, so I figured it would be nice to have the ability to print costume stuff and that kind of thing. Yeah, it may not be able to run as fast as a 250 or a 300, but I'm sure we're probably 90% of the way there. So at the end of the day, I think you might be splitting hairs. I've yet to run and make a benchy. Fast or slow, so I don't care how fast it can make a benchy. Really don't. I will say, I'm kind of surprised that the kit came with stainless hardware for the screws. Honestly figured it would have come with black oxide. This down here. Little rubber stopper to keep these linear rails from running off. And then you got these guides. Get that centered. $3mm gap. Alright, 3 more. We'll go with the start from the center and work your way out. Design philosophy. Snug them up to start with. Then we'll come back and give them a little torque. Alright. Well, that's that. I'll go ahead and get these other 3 installed, and then we'll come back. Alright, so we're back. All the linear rails are attached for the Z-axis, and we have the bottom installed. We have it sitting over there for right now. We're going to work on some heat sets for the Z motor mounts. So, the temperature for running this ABS is 240 as the top end, so that's what I've got my soldering iron set to, 240 Celsius, don't lose, and we'll just set these just below the surface. If you get the LDO kit for this, it comes with a special tool. I had to grind down a tip for the soldering iron so that it doesn't poke through the bottom of these. But that's no big deal. Soldering iron tips are inexpensive. And one more on the edge. All right, first one done. So these are for the C-axis pulleys and motor mounts. There's 4 of them, 1 in each corner. So that lines up with that, like such. And then you've got your gears and pulleys running inside here to drive your Z-axis belts. Reduction gears. But anyway, I will continue to put these heat sets in, and we'll come back when we're getting ready to assemble some of this. Alright, so got all the heat sets set. I went ahead and put together one of these drive motors here. Well, gear reducers. This pulley here will attach to the motor, and then this will go up and control your Z-axis. So let's show you how we did it. Rod, 22 gear, and then it's just shims, bearings, 2 more shims, and then our gear. Loctite on the grub screws. So I must say this is quite a fun project. Half the reason why I wanted to build this is just for the project of it. At the end I get a bonus 3D printer out of the fun project I built. Yeah, I mean, but I will not pretend that this is a project anybody that wants a 3D printer should attempt. I mean, there's definitely some options out there that aren't build your own 3D printer that would probably be better for most people. Now, with that being said, you may end up like me and be building one anyway after a few weeks. I started with a Ender 3 Pro, the $99 one from Micro Center. My son had a knockoff Monoprice Mini a few years back, and it died on him at some point, but he was trying to talk me into getting one. He's doing engineering class and they're doing 3D printing stuff in there, so I kind of think kickstarted his interest in it again. He ended up getting a Ender 3 Pro as well. I just finished up the project to make those Prusa lack enclosures to put the Ender in yesterday. While I was waiting for this stuff to all show up. So you got 4 of these, one for each corner, that you have to build. They're not too terribly difficult. Nothing's been too terribly difficult yet on this project. It's just make sure you take your time and do it right. If it's a project that you think you're going to sit down and assemble this in the afternoon like a IKEA cabinet or something, that ain't going to happen. I've been at this for, well, if you subtract out the half hour that I ran to the post office, 6 hours. But an hour of that was just organizing the hardware into our lovely storage thing over here. I wanted to be able to have drawers labeled and organized so I could just grab what I needed when I needed it. And not have to go rummaging around and not risk losing screws because they rolled off the table or whatever. Son gets off school here in a little less than 2 hours, so hopefully he can call in, video chat, and participate somewhat in this. Wish he was here to do it with me. But alas, he is not. Maybe we can build one of the other ones, maybe 0.1 or Trident. This summer or something together. I think the 0.1 would be fun to build. Again, in case you didn't see the last video or you have no idea what I'm talking about, this is a 3D printer, open source from Voron Designs. It's a Voron 2.4 R2. They have several different models of printers. If you've not seen one, I definitely encourage you to look them up. They're cool. Anyway, well, I'm going to finish building this last assembly here, figure out what we got to do next, and see you back then. Alright, so now I've got all of our motor assemblies and reducer drives, belt for the Z-axis. Go ahead and get those installed. I've already got the one installed, but take a minute for these. Pretty straightforward. Got 4 T-nuts and a couple bolts. It does have a really cool feature for tensioning the belt. It's got a printed part that goes in there and automatically tensions your belt for you, which is nice. The thought that went into these printed parts is phenomenal. Like I said, the tensioner for the Z-axis motors, it's the fact that these have just little notches on them that drop down into the extrusions to orient the orient it so that it doesn't get twisted. Like, just crazy amount of thought that went into some of these. So this is the little tensioner piece that goes in there. Wrong direction one, but it slides in underneath the motor mount. Put one screw in and then put that in. And just don't tighten it very much. So then you have little guitar amplifier feet for the bass of it. Alright, now spin this around so you can see the front of it. That is your motor and pulley assembly. We're going to go ahead and call the video here. We're at an hour, and call that a day. Thanks. Bye.